So I'm like, oh, gracias. And you're like, da-da-da. And we're having a good time. Then that could be kind of funny. And maybe only once, twice at the most. Or
right, don't want to abuse the gracias.
No. Or the other one is margarita dos, por favor. Kind of funny.
It's the Scott and Allie Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Allie.
Hey, I want to make sure that I am not becoming the master of trying to not do work. We just had a meeting, and the conversation, well, of course we had a meeting because people walk in our studio and they're like, hey, can you talk? We're like, right now we're in the middle of trying to get stuff ready. Okay, well, let me tell you all about it. You're in a meeting, right?
That was yesterday. Oh my God, yeah.
Man, and I literally, one of the questions come up, well, do you want me to handle that or do you want me to handle that, meaning him or me? And I go, oh, no, you got to handle that. But then I give the best explanation. I totally sold it as though it was his idea. Son of a bitch, I'm a slick dude.
Well, but it also, I think that it's you have to get in the habit of like, them taking responsibility.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, now you're justifying my justifying.
Yes.
This is why the connection between Allie and I is so strong. I sit here, not only do I sell the fact that I didn't want to do the work, I literally handed it back to the person that was asking, should I do the work or should you do the work? I'm like, oh, you should do this. And then you can actually account for everything for the person you're doing it for. And he goes, oh, yeah, that's right. I can, it's all right there. I can get a printout and everything. I'm like, see, there you go.
Yes, the way you explained it should be the way it should be done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't think you were trying to get out of work. I think that is the best solution.
Oh, well, thank you. I felt a little skeezy for just a second.
No. As soon as he had asked, should I do that part or should you do that part? In my mind, I was like, yes, no, it's the other party.
Yes.
Scott, not Scott. Scott is. Yeah.
I mean, if it's something different, I'll do it. Anyway, that
word talk.
So it's the Scott and Allie Not For Air podcast. I am really nervous about something.
What?
So my 2-year-old. Is she 2 now? She's about 2. Ginger, my 2-year-old pug.
Yeah, remember I said that she's going to be the teenage mother.
Yes, I was in dog years. I actually think this is about the right time if you plan on breeding a dog that she's young enough, she'll keep her figure when it's all done. Back into those jeans she walked into the hospital with to find out she was pregnant, right?
Do you think she's going to get those saggy titties afterwards?
Oh, she's got saggy titties already, like 8 of them on each side. I've never seen so many nipples in my life. Oh, yeah. It's like a pinball machine. It's like, all the way to... It's a pinball machine and nipples. I've never said that before.
A pinball machine of nipples.
Yeah.
We use that quote for something somewhere.
You used the Tesla titty twister on the show earlier in the week, so I'm like, hey, how about the pinball machine of nipples? Anyway.
And then depending on which one you hit, that's how much money you get. Yeah. And if you touch it or twist it, then it has to be the...
Yeah, right. I'm a 13-year-old boy again, thinking about movies. Woo!
I can't say nipple without being a 13-year-old boy.
Oh, God.
I have a nipple story for you in a second.
You actually just touched on something I need to talk about later.
Okay, because I have 2 nipple things for you later.
Okay, actually, most people do have 2 nipple things. Some people 3, but...
Unless you're from Friends, there's the nubbin. Okay, anyway.
Yes, the nubbin. I'm this is coming unhinged already. I'm worried about her because she's all of 2 years old.
Oh, Ginger. Back to Ginger.
Yes, back to Ginger. She is a house. I mean, see, here's the thing. I know that it's about 62 to 64 days, they say, of gestation from the time that Finn had his way with her to the time that she has puppies. And you know,
I never knew this until this occurrence.
Well, and I can't speak for every dog, but I'm assuming it's like that for most breeds. So I'm about to have a litter of 3/4 pug and maybe 1/4 Jack Russell puppies because Finn definitely he's like half and half. I think he's Jack Russell and pug.
Isn't that a jug?
Yeah, I think he's a jug because he can jump as high as your eyeballs, but yet he's got certain pug features.
Wouldn't you say as high as your nipples?
Yes, at least. sometimes higher. And as he passes your nipple, he goes, so
100 points.
oh, I'm nervous because number one, I've never delivered puppies. Well, I've never delivered.
Wait, you're the one who claims you're a doctor.
Well, yes, only at certain hours of the day. No, yes, a doctor, yes, but not a veterinarian doctor.
Okay.
You know, I mean, different gynecology work there.
Right.
But at any rate, I'm very nervous because I've never delivered puppies, never delivered anything really, not even newspapers.
Do you tell her?
Yeah. Do dogs have llamas? So I asked somebody, I don't even remember who I asked, and they said, well, dogs instinctively know what to do. And I'm like, well, God, I hope so. But then I watched a video on it, and this guy is in there, and he was in there YouTubing it, and he wipes the puppy down, lets the mom sniff it. Clipped a cord. I'm like, I don't want.
No.
So I have.
Why did I not even think that they would have an umbilical cord?
Well, yeah. Well, right. Well.
Oh my God! What if you're not home? What if you're at work?
Well, then you hope the dog knows what to do.
Like to bite the cord off?
I guess that's what they do. Yeah. Lunch. So at any rate,
can you imagine having to bite that cord?
No.
I wonder what that tastes like. Like, let's say your girlfriend had babies. I mean, like a human had babies while you guys were like camping or something, and then
I would not know what to do.
Well, and you had to help deliver the baby, and then like you had to bite the umbilical cord off. Wow, this is going way far left. Yeah. No, it's going to be way softer than that.
Oh, God. Yeah, squishy. Kind of like a piece of gristle on steak.
Yes, but then I think it would be like sausage, and you'd have to really like get it grinding in your teeth like that. Yeah.
That's gross.
Well, how did we get to biting off the umbilical cord section?
This is nasty.
That was probably not what you thought was on your bingo card today.
Neither was nipple pinball. I mean, so far, if you've had nipple pinball and chewing through an umbilical cord, you are the fucking grand prize winner. I got $1,000 sitting right here for you. Holy crap.
We're just getting started.
I know. We're not even 10 minutes into this. So at any rate, I'm very worried. And the other thing in the video, you know how they have those pointy suckers that newborns get to suck boogers out? They have
the blue thing.
The blue thing. So the guy was doing this. Obviously, the guy in the video.
So what? Their nostrils and then their mouth?
Maybe.
You need to watch this video again.
I have to rewatch the video. Yeah. Either way, the guy was very experienced, and of course, he made it look easy. I'm gonna be like, oh my God, there's a puppy coming out.
How many do they have?
That's the question. She goes for a sonogram on Monday.
How precious.
Actually, this is airing on Tuesday. Shit. Yeah, I'm so sorry that you guys, I'm going to know the answer. You have to tune into the show. Well, no, that'll already have happened too.
Or the podcast. We'll do an update.
The following podcast. Yeah.
Right.
She could have had her puppies by then. She's huge.
But are you guys going to do do a social media announcement? You guys should totally do that. Whenever you do the sonogram, aren't they going to give you like the little paper with the puppies in there, and you guys can put it up on Instagram?
Oh, that'd be cute. I was thinking when you said a social media, you wanted me to actually Instagram live the birth and me having to gnaw through an umbilical cord and then the puppies playing nipple pinball.
I would, if you were on Twitch, I would pay for more of that content.
Oh God,
the chewing on the umbilical cord part,
especially. That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah. So like licorice.
Yep. Or like not licorice, because there's a difference between Twizzlers and then the rope.
Yeah, the rope.
It would be like the rope.
I'm thinking the rope too. Yeah, I think, And here's the other terrifying part to this is Gavin is my realist kid. Like this kid, he doesn't always go to the negative place first, but he thinks everything all the way through. And he goes, well, Dad, what if one of the puppies doesn't live? And I'm like, oh my God, they're all going to be fine, son. Every one of them fine.
And you're like, quit hanging out with your Aunt Allie.
Oh, yeah, stop watching those shows that Allie watches.
I can't believe he thought of that.
Well, I think
did somebody tell him that, or
he watched a video at one point where somebody had explained that they had puppies and one didn't live, and but I'm thinking for her first litter, I'm hoping it's anywhere between 2 and 3, and not like 6.
Are you going to keep all of them?
That's going to be tough because, I mean, yes, they're probably going to be super cute. That would, if she had 3, that would suddenly put us at 5. I mean, mind you, they're small dogs, but
Still.
5 dogs in the house.
If I was to give my honest opinion, I think you should give them away.
All of them? We can't. There's no way.
You're going to keep one?
Maybe 2 because.
Oh my God.
So Ginger and Finn.
Wait, didn't your girlfriend also say she wanted a pig?
Well, that's like anybody that goes, oh, I think a beaver's cute. I'd love to have one as a pet.
Because I have.
I'm not going to get a pig.
I know 2 people that have pigs. I think the guy that's playing at our adult Easter egg hunt actually is one of those people that has a pig. I'm going to text him and find out. But I know somebody else.
Oh, by the way, if you'd like to come to the adult Easter egg hunt, while tickets last, please visit all the Scott and Allie socials. $20 for the April 12th, 1 to 3 p.m. at Empire Sports in Elmira. Thousands of dollars of prizes up for grabs.
if there's tickets left by the time this comes out.
21 and up only. Yeah, my God, we're almost halfway sold out.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so the pig is cute because my friend Chad and his ex-girlfriend, they had a pig as well. Now, once they broke up, the pig went with her. But the pig had like its little bed, like
or
a dog.
did he say the pig left? Hey, see what I did there?
And I know that they can be a really good pet. Not that I need to. Actually, I probably shouldn't have said that because now you're going to have 5 dogs and a pig.
No, we're not doing a pig.
Okay, you're not.
We're going to keep the
pugs.
pugs.
Because I overheard that in a conversation.
Well, yes,
and I acted like I didn't.
No, but you
I'm
know how
like,
people say, "Oh, it's so cute, I want one." Like, who doesn't want a baby elephant? Hey, you're not going to keep a baby elephant,
Well, the way that I believe she worded it was something along the lines of, "So I can get that pig, right?"
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah, okay."
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, good luck.
And I thought maybe
Where are
they
you going to
are.
keep it?
Well, they have like dog beds. They're like you can get like one of those real tiny ones and everything.
Bet it's going to get pissed off at me every Sunday when I make bacon.
Oh my God, I wonder.
Oh,
I wonder if
man.
they know their own smell, their own sizzle.
Yeah, right? They'll be like, that's Cousin Brucey. Anywho.
Plump and juicy.
Yeah, but yes, exactly.
Was.
Well, sure was. Yeah. Now it's in me's.
I love that you've adopted my rhyming thing.
Yeah, we just kept going. So that's my big fear is Ginger. I don't know how to do a deliver, although I do have one saving grace. One of Gavin's friends, they've had numerous litters of husky puppies. So and she's on standby. Shout out to Melinda. She already knows that I may be calling her at any given hour whenever it happens.
Good.
To be able to be like, you need to come over. Because here's another thing. Both me, 6059, and the kids are out of the house most of the day. I work, she works, the kids are at school.
Yep.
I don't know what I could walk into. All I know is we are this close to pug puppies. And assuming that everything goes good with the checkup on Monday.
I don't know what Melinda does for a living, but what if...
Clearly breeds huskies.
Right, that too. But you have talked about on the show that you have a Furbo, which is one of those cameras for your dogs. Where you
it's the cutest thing, yeah.
Right. So what if you're at work and all of a sudden the Furbo goes off and you can see that she's starting to have a baby? Yes, obviously you would start to go home.
Right.
But do you call Melinda at that point too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
I'd call her right away, I would say. Because I have another friend, my friend Katie. You know Katie, too. She used to work at the gas station. She's got the emus. She's supposedly moving out of the state. And I don't know if she's still here or not. I'd call her, too. Suddenly,
You
I'd
better
have both
call
of them.
her.
I'd have both of them there. But I would. I'd call on the way. I'd be like, all right, Melinda, Ginger's giving birth right now. We got to go. So just overall, the big message here is fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Everything goes really well. And yeah, I mean, if it's 3 puppies... Maybe one will go up for sale adoption. In other words, whoever comes forward with the money first beats the adoption thing.
Oh, I would have to absolutely background check them because sometimes you get real scuzz buckets, real critters.
We'll cross that hurdle when we get there. But the other thing is, Ginger and Finn also somehow mentally connected to sleeping in our bed, and I'd like each Gavin and Lydia to have their own puppy for their, for at night.
I also was thinking, what if the dog delivers puppies on your bed? Oh.
That's a real possibility. Yeah.
You know what you need to start doing? And I am so serious about this. You need to get one of those you can either like mattress covers or you can just get a plastic sheet. And when you leave for work, put that down.
Oh, yeah. That's
Even if you put that with a blanket, that way you don't have puppy placenta on your bed.
I don't know how much of that they produce, but I hear you.
I don't care.
I hear you.
Oh my God, that would be so nasty.
Oh God.
And then if one is dead, then what
God,
do you?
you and Gavin.
Well, do you tell the kids that you lost one, or do you pretend
Here's the
that
thing.
it never happened? Because so let's say it happens. See, it's funny when you're home, the kids are always home.
Yeah.
There's no way that you could hide this.
No.
Because when it's happening, I'm sure they're going to be standing there and they're going to count. Let's say it's 3, and then all of a sudden,
There's 3.
right? And then all of a
I don't
sudden,
think it happens that quick, by the way.
I don't think so either. But then all of a sudden, only 2 are alive. Like, yeah, you can't get around it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you might just have to.
This is a beautiful life lesson.
Oh, it is.
Circle of life.
I would have no problems with my kids watching the puppies being born. I mean, do I think there's going to be some ews that are going to come out of their mouths, but especially when Dad's chewing on the umbilical cord.
So back to my nipple stories. You want to hear? The first one is today. We were getting ready for our Easter egg hunt, and one of the girls that's helping me, she comes out of the conference room where she's stuffing the eggs, and she has in her hand what I thought were like 2 speakers because they're like the size of like those Echo Dots.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, what you got there? Thinking like somebody dropped off more prizes for the eggs. And she's like, oh, it's my breast milk.
Ooh.
So she was in the conference room just like,
pumping away. Yeah.
Which totally cool. Like we work in a work environment where, kids show up.
A lot of us have had kids. It's
dogs
just
show up.
Sure. Yeah.
Somebody's pumping in the conference room. We don't have a lactation room, but she was lactating there.
I thought for a minute when you said I saw her coming out of the conference room with 2 things that looked like Amazon Echoes. I thought you were going to say salami nipples. But
But I would have died if she would have walked out with just the things like hanging down.
Just
like,
a titty out?
What up?
Look at me milking.
Oh my gosh.
Good for her though. That's good.
Oh yeah, no, it was fine. I thought it was speakers and it was boob juice.
It's boob juice.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
And a thing that looks like an Echo Dot, was she still pumping as?
It's so, I'm telling you, the baby stuff has gotten so technologically savvy. I believe, if I'm right on this, that there was a button either to keep it cool or warm or something. There was something on the side that looked like it was, or maybe it was like, whipping it around. I'm not really sure. I don't know.
Making whipped cream from breast milk.
Yes, I don't know.
God.
But and it's funny. I think it was
cool titty whip.
I think it was like directly connected. I think these booby bowls were directly on her tatas.
So she was pumping when she came out of the room.
No. What I'm saying is, let me describe this part a little bit because I think that they were on her. I think the bowls were on her boobs.
Okay.
Because the bowl was like the size of an Echo Dot, but there was an indentation there.
Okay.
So I assumed it was just like, I don't know. I don't know how it works, to be honest with you.
I don't know either.
I've had a breast pump on my boobies though.
Oh, you have?
Oh my God, that is the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Well, yeah, because you got nothing in there to suck out.
Exactly.
Which made me the first time that I ever gave the impression that you have small cans.
My cousin Sandy was breastfeeding and she's like, just try it. So of course I'm like, okay. So I put it on and then I put them on and then she turns on the button and you know what it sounds like? It's like, so all of a sudden it turns on and it sucks. It suctions so hard. I was like, turn it off.
Got the power.
I want to do this to Scott so bad.
Oh, speaking of which, I think there was a story I meant to tell you on the show a couple weeks ago.
What?
And it sort of ties to this loosely. Did you hear about the guy? And I want to say this was in China this happened. Because it's either Florida or China. The weirdest shit happens. That this woman, okay. You know those machines that you can hook up to a guy that can simulate labor pains?
Yes. We've done this on the show.
Right. And I said I wasn't going to do it. I said, no way, I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, no, okay, this woman could be in hot water because, which also you boil when there's a baby being born, I think. But
That's such an old timey
I
thing.
know.
Like, why do you boil the water?
Who knows? So They hooked this machine up to him. Why am I drawing a blank on the name of this machine? Anyway, they hooked it up. She hooked it up to her boyfriend because
it's called Tines.
Is it a Tins unit?
I think so.
Anyway, so she hooked it up to him. Cranked the thing so hard because he was doing okay for a while, and you know how you have to up the power to really show like, okay, now you're in full labor.
That's how it was on the show. I mean, this has been a long time since we did it, but yeah, at first I was like, yeah, okay, and then it'd be like, and then you're like on the floor.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
She left it on him for so long. It basically made his guts paralyzed. Well, yeah, I'm sure his butthole was puckering, but it literally paralyzed his insides. They showed a picture of him in the hospital. So you're like, oh, girls, let's hook Timmy up to the machine so he knows what it's like. You could put your man in the hospital like this lady did.
Ours, the one that we used,
or this was hyper revenge.
I thought you were going to tell me that she did it in his sleep, but anyway, ours that we used on the show, if you remember, Scott, it had like almost like if you were going to like at a hospital, like those little tiny things that you would stick on people's skin.
Oh, the nodes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, mm-hmm.
TENS unit.
TENS, not tins.
That's
yes,
it. TENS unit.
And so I'm surprised that the guy just didn't rip it right off, because that's what happened with me. Is I just, oh my God, that hurt so bad.
You took it to where you could take it. No, this guy, I guess she had it up so high and for so long, it like paralyzed his torso area. Like all the things that are important in there, paralyzed. Now I think he's recovering and things are coming back to life, but it really, you gotta be careful, You
do. And I bet you that he was in so much pain he couldn't take it off. That's now what I'm guessing. And the paralyzation thing, you don't even realize how much you use your core. I mean, getting in and out of your car, sitting up and down, anything and everything.
Mm-hmm. So, did you say you had another nipple story or just one?
I'll tell it later. Actually, I want to go back to you mentioned the thing of the story out of China.
Yes.
So I wanted to talk about the thing at the Mexican restaurant, not the same country, I know, but okay. I think this can bleed into various types of restaurants.
All right.
Isn't it low-key racist if you go into a Mexican restaurant and the guy comes to your table and you go, hola, or
yeah, that
or you order something or he gives you something and you're like, gracias.
I got 2 points on this.
Okay.
It's going to sound weird to say it like this. Now, as you may or not be able to notice if you're watching this, I have 0% Mexican in me or Hispanic in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. So, except I'm bald, and a lot of Hispanic guys are bald too. Other than that, that's all we got in common. But I will say that if you start with hola, that is feeling a little low key, like you're kind of like, okay, but the gracias is weirdly different because two things. If the vibe of the place is energized and a lot of fun, and you're on your second margarita and you're going gracias, yay, then the waiter or the waitress is like, oh yeah, what's thank you? Oh, you're welcome in Spanish. Any idea?
No.
Okay. Well,
I took French.
So if there's a vibe, I took French. If there's a vibe about it, then I don't necessarily feel it feels necessarily racist or even low key racist.
Donata, by the way.
Donata. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, Donata.
A fine vehicle. Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, so if I'm like, Allie just brought me my. Not that you look Mexican either, but
maybe Italian on some days.
On Sundays, so I'm like, oh, gracias, and you're like, da-da-da, and we're having a good time. Then that could be kind of funny, and maybe only once, twice at the most. Or
right, don't want to abuse the gracias.
No, or the other one is, margarita dos, por favor. Kind of funny.
Why is it when you do it, it doesn't feel icky?
Because I can't go into it any further. It's and here's the difference. There's a similarity to this, and I'm sure you've been out to a meal with somebody that would do this, and I will never forget.
My dad.
Is your dad the one that does the name of the waitress every time they come over?
Oh, he'll do that.
Oh,
Yes.
God,
yes,
that's so agonizing to be around. Like, okay, thank you for telling me. Heidi, you're going to be my waitress. Now, you don't need to say Heidi's name every time she comes to the table.
Thank you. Heidi.
Like, you're not committing Heidi to memory for the rest of your life, you know?
Right.
It's like, I'd like a water, Heidi. Because they usually introduce themselves. They'll say, hi, I'm Heidi, and I'll be your server tonight. And then somebody undoubtedly goes, well, Heidi, what's the specials? It just seems creepy when somebody does that.
I get what you're saying on that, but I'm hoping
and they abuse the hell out of it. It's Heidi all night long.
Right. If I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna make sure that this is my restaurant, and maybe Heidi's gonna be my regular waitress. But
then don't you walk in and you're like, Heidi,
right,
girl, I'm gonna be at table 4.
But we have to establish. We need to establish relationship before we get to that point. I need to start being a regular, and then we can be on the Heidi Mark relationship. No,
but you
I was
still
gonna say,
don't use it every single time.
No, but what I was going to say, my dad would be the one, and I love my dad. Dad, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. My dad would be the one.
I think he left us at Nipple Pinball.
Probably.
Just a thought. I mean, it was worth sticking around beyond that because it really did get interesting. But
I think my dad would be the one to, at the end, like, oh, Gracias. And then me and my brother would be.
And that's so white.
Yeah. And
now,
that's what it is.
How about low-key racist right there? That's so white.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter because apparently, that we're the ones that are the worst offenders of it. So,
I'm going to give you another one.
Okay.
Let's say we're at a Chinese restaurant and we're dining in. And of course, I don't know Chinese. I don't know Spanish, so I don't know Chinese either.
Mandarin, anything like that.
No, nothing.
Nobody even knows how to say General Tso's chicken. There's General Tussauds, General Tso's.
But
and do they ever correct you? No Asian owner of a restaurant has ever come up and been like, well, I almost did an impression. I better not do that. Hang on, I gotta back up.
They're not like, oh no, that's General Taos
or toes. Oh, that's my favorite. When, hillbilly Uncle Larry walks in. Oh, I have made some General Tso's chicken. Sir, that's General Tso's.
I don't know. But you're never going to be at a Chinese restaurant, and then when they come to your table and give you your General Tso's, you're never
just wrap it all in.
You're never going to put your hands together and bow. Doesn't that?
Oh, yeah, sure. That would happen at a hibachi restaurant. Very common in the Japanese culture, if you will.
Are you going to do that, Scott?
No, I would never walk into. We have a couple very nice hibachi restaurants here. I would never walk in and just be like, that would be no. And I'm going to
give you one more just to solidify why I think we could stop with the gracias.
The gracias. But like I said, if it's the right vibe, one time, like I said.
Or is it the right vibe because you are 3 margs deep?
Well, that could be too. That'd be Trace Margarita, por favor. Gracias. I'm getting hard on the numbers. I'm running out of the abilities.
Do you want my third one?
Sure.
Okay, so I used to have a neighbor, and she was a black girl. So anytime, nope, it's not what you think is coming, and that's not coming. So Scott was like, okay, are we about to get fired now?
This has been fun.
But what would happen is that, I'm talking to said neighbor. We were all very close. I'm talking to said neighbor like, hey, Anastasia, I'm going to call her Anastasia for right now. Hey, Anastasia, how was work? Blah, blah, blah. But then we had another neighbor that all of a sudden when she would see Anastasia, she'd be like, girl, what's going on?
Okay, I love the energy of a vibrant black woman. I am
too.
just going to come out and tell you that I love it. It's the same energy as a highly flamboyant gay man. You know, it's like when they're like, Jesus Christ, I love Wicked. You know, there is so much energy to that makes you feel so good. Even a flamboyantly gay man that's bitching about something. That son of a bitch at the DMV line. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's amazing. I just fell into the trap. It is amazing to watch the energy. And you're right. I wish I had the energy of a flamboyantly strong-willed black woman where I can walk in the room and be like, Foo, what you talking about? You know, I don't have the I don't have it.
No, but what I'm telling you is the white neighbor would all of a sudden talk to the black neighbor.
You can't do that.
That's what I'm telling
you.
I
was just doing an example. Please forgive me. I was, you know.
No, I do understand that though, because even yesterday, Scott and I were at an event and we ran into a black woman who has big energy. And how much do you love her? And even, oh my gosh, I am in this workout program where it's an online community, and I think I'm the only white person. And I love when we're on the Zoom calls.
Ain't it great being the minority?
And I really enjoy it. So I love the way like the whole conversation goes. I love their energy. I mean, you could do like 2 curls, and they're like, "Yes, sister."
Yeah.
Like,
oh, girl, you rode the shit off that spinner. You're like. Well, suddenly I sound like Tracy Morgan. Selena Gomez. Wow, I just covered 2 at once.
And this is where I'm like, yo, we can't do that. No, gracias, no bowing.
I'm on the fence on the gracias is what I've been trying to say the whole time. No bowing. No. We are in agreement. Love big energy. And big energy goes in a lot of different places. That makes it great.
It's hard too, because like the woman that we were talking to yesterday, I want to match her energy.
Oh my God, I know. She was so great. Well, this was the person that we were at a dinner event where a bunch of restaurants from around the area were doing a sampling, and it was really a lot of fun. Was this the one that that her husband was next to her? I assume it was her husband. They were working together, and they had the chicken salad. Oh, and they were great, and it was flattering because. This is always very flattering when someone comes up and goes, I listen to the show all the time, or I love you guys, I listen all the time, or I grew up with you, or whatever.
Of course.
It was the most energized, we listen to you every day! And I'm like, yes!
And you want to match it, but you need to match it without slipping into that dialect because
God, I loved it.
You're too white. And that's where I'm like, I get why my neighbor was doing that to Anastasia, but I'm like,
God, and I want to do it because it's out of such a respect for your energy and your culture that I think is magnificent. You know,
am I respecting you by saying gracias? Am I respecting you by bowing?
No. Again, let me explain this.
See, I think you're
Cuatro margaritas in, por favor, gracias. That's where it happens. You don't just, when the chips come down, which is usually the first thing at the table, gracias, and then your main meal, gracias, and then your next drink, gracias. You know, it's getting old.
I love that you started out real quiet.
Gracias.
It's almost like I'm going to test this gracias water here. Can I? And then by the end of it,
Seis margarita, por favor. Gracias. So listen, what happens when, speaking of what you can do with certain cultures and what you can't, which there's a lot of can't, let's be honest, because I mean, and even if you mean it in a good way, I understand, you gotta, this is not, okay, you know what? I figured it out. Before I go on to this, because I have one more example that I want to run by you of, is it acceptable? Which I'm sure it's not. I think I just discovered something about this discussion. It's not so much about race, it's more energy and it's more personality. And what I mean by that is we were describing the energy that comes out of certain people. And I think that is more the homage to the energy and just the joy they bring with it. Like Seis margarita, por favor, gracias.
I also think that the one thing we've discovered by bringing all these things up, that there's never any ill intention. There's never any ill will. It's wanting to relate or talk to them. But
Sometimes I envy the energy. Is a great, that's the best way I can think of it. Sometimes I envy what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
And I just wish that that I could for a few minutes share in that with you knowing I don't mean anything disrespectful.
Right.
Now,
Last thing.
We've covered all these. I mean, if you walk into a Greek restaurant, would it be insulting to say, "Hey, does the whole family work here? Is Apollo or Adonis or I don't know, Lucas or Orion in the back there cooking?"
So funny you ask that. I worked for a Lebanese restaurant in Cleveland, and every single person was family.
Yeah, well, of course.
So
Atticus just sat me over here.
Oh my God. He's just trying to whip out every Greek name he knows.
Pretty much.
Aphrodite,
yes.
their daughter.
She'll be cashing me out. Yeah.
Nope. Scott, just nope.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.